10, 9.
Now, get ready for Buzzworthy Radio, the show that gets you up close and personal with some of today's hottest stars. Now, here's Novell J. Lee.
Hey, it's Novell J. Lee. Welcome into a new Buzzcast here on Buzzworthy Radio. One of our favorites of the show stopped by to promote the season premiere of Revenge, which airs this Sunday night at 9/8 Central on ABC. Gabriel Mann, who plays the role of Nolan Ross, talked about how the character of Nolan has changed from the last season up until now. I mean, he's been pretty much dogged out within the last 2 years. So we're going to see a change in Nolan. We got to talk about that as well as a new, sexier, more revengier season of the show. All that and more with Gabriel Mann. Check it out. Oh my goodness.
You know what? It's the most wonderful time of the year because if we're talking, it means we got something good to talk about. Dude.
And you know exactly what time that is, ladies and gentlemen. No words can express how glad I am to be talking to this guy again. He's one of our favorites here at The Buzz. And why else would we be talking to Gabriel Mann right now? It's because this Sunday is the season premiere of Revenge. And if you hadn't been following my tweets, ladies and gentlemen, I've already seen the first episode of this season. So I already know what goes down. But unfortunately, you guys are going to have to wait.
Yes, indeed. Watch live on Sunday night, ABC.
Oh, no, I'll be watching again.
Yeah. or just watch it again. Exactly.
I will be watching it again. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think Novell, you can probably concur with this, having seen it, that we have taken a very back to basics approach to this season so far, and I think also kind of risen the stakes on everything, because obviously Emily Thorne's revenge plan, on an ongoing serialized television show potentially could go on and on and on, but there are a couple of things that happen very quickly in this season that set a time limit on the proceedings that are about to follow. And whatever is about to go down or going to go down, and Emily and the Graysons, it's probably going to happen in a big way real quick this season. I would imagine there will always be fallout and ramifications that will continue to complicate in this story and in this world and with these characters. But, we're not wasting any time this year. We are right back in it to win it.
As you just said, exactly. The point is, like, within 5 minutes, it was already right back to its revengey self that we fell in love with back in season 1. And you're right. There was some animosity last season with a lot of the fans who watched it, but it's definitely Sunil and company. It promises to be a huge season 3 for everybody involved, with the twists and turns and the revenginess and the sexiness that we're going to get incorporated into this season.
Yes, I can confirm on a sexy season 3. So far, mostly dealing with the guys. And I think at a certain point, it's going to be time for the girls to get their kits off, too. But so far, the guys have been holding down the fort in that area. Although I will say you are about to see a very, very different Charlotte in season 3. You are going to meet a couple of new characters who have no problem throwing down in the sex department either, and it's everything that I think people had come to really love about the show, and we definitely have upped the stakes this year, and there are some plot twists coming your way. My God, being that the show is just about to return, I will save spoilers, obviously, but there may be returns from some very unexpected people this year. I mean, it's kind of everything that as a fan of Revenge myself, I love about the show, and it's all coming and it's all happening as we speak.
You said the guys are pretty much the ones who are providing the sexiness. Does that mean Nolan gets in on that?
Absolutely, of course he does. 100%. Nolan, look, Nolan has never been afraid to use his sexuality as a weapon. He is equal opportunity. Everyone is fair game, basically, and that will certainly be no exception this year. I mean, I think if anything, he's maybe even more so than we've seen in the past. But Nolan's a little bit different this year. He has definitely felt the ramifications of all the things that have happened to him in the last couple of years, and I think
he really got burned.
Nolan basically got blamed for every terrible thing that has ever happened on the show, and how that affects him moving forward. I will let the audience wait and see, but he definitely has a fire burning that he sort of and also is kind of recommitted to Emily and her plan in maybe a little bit different way than we have seen before, because I think sometimes Nolan can definitely be a moral compass for Emily. I'm not saying he won't be, but the way in which he goes about that may be very different than we've seen from this character in the past.
The season finale, we saw basically Jack Porter, played by the great Nick Wexler, find out from Emily that she really wasn't Emily. She's, in fact, Amanda Clark. And obviously, we haven't seen the ramifications from that, especially with Jack's relationship with Nolan. So how is that going to be affected this season, especially since Nolan knew this whole entire time?
Well, I mean, I think Jack knowing Emily Thorne's real identity, it throws a world of complication on a whole lot of things. And the fact that Jack has been so damaged by everything that has happened, has basically lost his whole family. I mean, one thing that I find really interesting about that situation is we now find Jack and Emily on almost equal footing. I mean, Emily sort of as an orphan and somebody who really had to make her way through the world on her own, and now Jack, who really has lost just about everything as a result of the way that his character has come into contact with the Graysons, puts them in a very interesting and not dissimilar place with each other. How Nolan kind of comes into that world becomes very interesting. I mean, I think he's got something invested in, I mean, Nolan's goal, I think, has always been, and there is probably always something that we have yet to find out about everyone's goals on this show, but the very obvious basic one was a human connection and sort of some friendship and for this guy who was very much alone in the world and kind of a misfit. And I think Emily was the beginning of that equation, and Jack certainly in the last couple of years has become somebody that he looks out for and cares about and really is very invested in. And so there's a lot of danger in that relationship for him now that Jack knows about Emily, and I think how that will affect their relationship, Jack and Nolan, is anyone's guess. It could bring them closer, or it could it could make them mortal enemies too. So you will have to wait and see how that plays out.
Oh, absolutely.
We won't make you wait very long, though. You'll know pretty quick.
You won't make me wait? Okay.
No,
fair enough.
We never do.
You got a great team that's working on the show, especially under the new showrunner, which is Sunil Nayar, who I did love when he was at CSI Miami. And, a lot of fans, myself included, I probably was in that, but I just never said it. It was very, when a new showrunner comes in, you're very hesitant because you're kind of like, is he going to keep the momentum of revenge going as how revenge should be? And, you ask all of these questions in your head. And from what I've heard from him, as well as from everybody else, and from what I have seen already, I don't know why I had doubts.
Well, I'm sure Sunil would appreciate that. Look, Sunil's been with us for a while now, so he knows what makes this show tick. He is a fan of the show and of these characters, and he absolutely, is kind of always about servicing the revenge machine and the things that make these characters tick. And he's an incredibly smart, incredibly creative, wonderful guy. And that being said, I think, Mike Kelly continues to sort of live with us, and everything we do is kind of in homage to Mike. I mean, these characters are Mike's, these relationships and sort of the way that this whole world has come together has Mike Kelly's DNA in it, from the ground up. And so, it feels like we are kind of a show with two fathers now, but hey, it's 2013, so why not? And certainly at the end of the day, everyone on this show and involved with the show, and from the ground up, from the creative team through the actors and the crew, are all about providing the best kind of smartest, most satisfying, entertaining way of enjoying the show, and I think the audience will pick that up really quickly when they tune into season 3, and I just can't wait for you guys to see it. I mean, some of the episodes that we have coming up are so off the wall fantastic that it's really going to be a pleasure, and I'm just curious myself, not having seen them, to get to see the way this season starts to take shape. But it really is a love letter to revenge fans.
I cannot wait for everybody to see the season premiere on Sunday. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If I enjoyed it, you guys are going to enjoy it. But don't take my word for it. Watch the show live. The season premiere is this Sunday at 9/8 Central on ABC. Are you going to be taking part in the live tweeting, since pretty much I'm seeing everybody's going to be tweeting Sunday?
I think I'm always a little mysterious on Twitter. I come in, I come out. I will be somewhere on Sunday night. I think there are any number of things that may be going down. I think Emily may be hosting a viewing party. I think some of the writers are having a party. I have tickets to see one of my favorite bands at the Hollywood Bowl on Sunday. So right now, nice. I'm a little bit in hell, but who knows? Maybe I'll be live tweeting from the middle of a mosh pit at a concert. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. So if my spelling is off the wall, then you'll know why. I just got headbutted by 10 people. Yeah. So I'll leave that as a surprise for Sunday, but certainly wherever I am, I will be there in spirit, because I cannot wait to share this with everyone.
We'll make up for it, because, I tend to flood up everybody's timelines on Sunday. So it's all right. It's all right. You'll see.
We love that. We live for that, Novell. I mean, it's all about bogarting people's timelines for revenge on Sundays. Yeah.
Most definitely. Pleasure as always, sir. Always doors open for you to come back. We love to have you. Always.
Oh, and by the way, Novell, I think I'm just putting this out there right now. You need to have a podcast with our revenge writers, because they are the mad geniuses behind this show. I know I have heard buzz on Twitter about that happening, but I know that the writers would be down.
You did.
And I'm waiting to hear their podcast at this point. So I'm gonna put some pressure on them on my end.
I have, yes, the word went around. So, yes, you heard correctly. So,
okay, good.
You heard correctly. So, yes, that is being worked on as we speak. But any push helps. But, yes, we are working on having a Revenge Writers podcast. So, that has been put out there. So, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, always, Novell. You have been one of the original supporters of our show, and I'm just happy that we get to continue to have a show that I am really proud and excited to share with you.
Absolutely. Countdown begins, y'all. Sunday night.
It does indeed.
Check it out. Tweet live, watch live. Gabriel Mann, everybody. Thank you so much, man. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Novell.
Always a pleasure. Many thanks to Gabriel Mann for stopping by and chatting with us. The season premiere of Revenge airs this Sunday night at 9/8 Central on ABC. Make sure you follow Gabriel on Twitter at Gabriel_Man with 2 N's. That's it for me for right now. I'm Novell J. Lee, making sure you keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy Radio by logging onto our website at www.buzzworthyradio.net. You can follow us on Twitter at Buzzworthy Radio, and apologies in advance because this Sunday night during Revenge, I'm going to be blowing up your timelines. So I am sorry that it's going to be clogging up, but you know what? We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to have a nice little Twitter party for the season premiere. And you can also like us on Facebook as well at Buzzworthy Radio. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Hey, I'm Gabriel Mann, and you have the pleasure right now of listening to Buzzworthy Radio.
Can't get enough of Buzzworthy Radio. Log on now to www.buzzworthyradio.net to get the latest news on upcoming guests, past shows, and videos of all your favorite stars. Keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy.